You know, it's June 20th today, and 2025, and June 20th. See, the month of June is pretty significant for me because my dad was born in the month of June. I was born in the month of June. I was married to my first wife, Adrian, or Lisa Adrian, in June, and I think it was June 18th. And I can't remember if my grandson Bryce's birthday is it's sometime in June. Like it might be today, June 20th, or it might be June 18th. I don't know. I know Father's Day is in June. I know my granddaughter Adelaide was born in June. I know my dogs were born in June. I think all my dogs were born in June except for Charlie. But a lot of stuff happened in June. Important stuff, significant for me. And so, if I was sentimental, I would have. Well, I am sentimental, but I'm not really a good marker down of the dates of events, and I'm fortunate that I even remember all this stuff by June. I don't know. Must mean something. They say even the numbers of your birthday mean something. So, my numbers have 3s and 2s, like June is 06, 3rd is 3, 62 has a 6, and 2 is like, 6 divided by 2 is 3. Anyway, I don't know how I got off on that, but I actually feel like sometimes I get an avalanche of insight now. I'm trying to think, like I was thinking when I was a kid, and I'm thinking that I know what I was thinking because I kind of was able to bring myself back and relive and recapture some of the things, moments that I've been thinking about. One of them pretty vivid is when my mom's dad, my grandpa Whitten, he came and walked to me. I was underneath the bridge. We used to crawl underneath the bridge and cross from Marinette to Menominee, Marinette, Wisconsin, to Menominee, Michigan. We would go under the bridge and use the I-beams and walk the I-beams. Crit, what do you gotta do? You hang on. You better hang on. And walk it. And we used to do that. And we used to fish in that river. And my grandfather came down and told me that my friend Brian is my next door neighbor when we lived in Valparaiso before we moved to Wisconsin. And he got hit by a car, got killed. He was my friend. We used to ride bikes together. I remember that. I remember what it was like. I remember what it was like, In fact, I was on one of the. I was one pier in when he came over and hollered out to me, and then I, took our secret path back. Went and talked to him. And he told me he had some very important news to tell me and everything like that, And then he told me. So I kind of lost track of actually what the real important thing was I was thinking. Actually did. Forgot what the real important thing was I was thinking. But, just to say about dying and stuff. Today I took pet tests, to find out, what's it like inside this body? You know, sometimes like I took my video camera and shined it on my feet because you know my feet look to me like that. My feet have changed forms. You know, sometimes, and you know when I was doing one certain kind of drug at a period of time in my life, my feet would change form, and it wasn't a hallucination. It was actually, you know, physical. And, you know, I don't know. I took a video of my feet when I was doing breath work. And, you know, like, so, you know, what I do is, you know, I push my breath out. And I push it completely out, you know. I go to the bottom of the tomb. And then then I suck it in. Sometimes, you know, it's kind of hard to actually take another breath. It's kind of like when you get your breath knocked out, it's hard to breathe. Like, I remember going over the Yagahaney Fall one time. That was about like a, I don't know, 30-foot drop or something. It's like farther than 30 foot, maybe it's like 35 foot or 40 foot. I'm not really sure, but even whatever the amount of water is, it took me down, and it tumbled me, and the problem was that because I got over the fall, right, but it sucked me back in. See, I was in a short boat. If I was in a long boat, maybe I could have escaped, but I went over it, and then it pulled me back down, tumbled me, and my skirt imploded, and so, you know, I had no flotation. So I had to come out of my boat, and I'll way under there. And of course, I don't want to lose my boat or my paddle either, you know. But by the time, and I took a breath of water, I think, when I was under there, because I couldn't hold my breath anymore. I did it by mistake, and but then when I got up, I couldn't breathe. Like I actually thought I was going to die. So I couldn't breathe. I couldn't take an inhale. Like, that's very kind of frightening, you know, when you can't inhale. You're conscious and you can't inhale. And you know, if you don't inhale, you're going to go unconscious. And you're in the water. Well, nobody knew what I was going through. They didn't know I couldn't breathe. I mean, there are people out there, but Jesus, you know, maybe I could have had an out-of-body experience. I don't know. Maybe I'm just joking. But anyway, I've been actually, you know, I watched one more time. I looked up. I heard this guy talk again. Darius J. Wright. And so on the header of the TV, look, I think. Okay. That's him, and it says. OBE master leaves his body every night. He leaves his body every night. I guess he can do that through meditation. And so, is that a new phenomenon? People do it. He's not the first. But he has been doing this like all his life. And so, you know, you might just say he's good at it now. Well, you know, they say, you know, we got like, in our DNA, we got like 12 layers or 13 kind of things, and we only use 2 of them. You know, he was pointing that out. I mean, he's saying that the whole spiritual realm is like a helix thing, you know, like 12 or 13 layers or something like that. Anyway, this point is, you know, that, you know, he says, you know, your soul, he said your soul is kind of really what dictates, like, you know, your soul decides, like, you know, when it's gonna die, you know, and stuff like that. Your soul decides that. Yeah. So I'm thinking, see, that's why it must be that, like I came across that verse in the Gospel of Thomas that I made reference to, you know, that if you bring forth that which is within you, then what you bring forth from within will save you. Will save you. If you bring forth what is within you, it will save you. But what you do not bring forth will destroy you. Well, that sounds pretty severe, but you know, I don't know. Your soul is in charge. I can't really get and in the background of my thinking, I'm thinking I could die because what if these results come back, from the dye they put in me, all the CT scan, stomach, chest, and all that, one says, man, you're filled up with cancer, man. You got about a year to live, because I don't really right now feel like I'm filled up with cancer. But I don't know if my dad felt like he was gonna die a year before he died either. He just went to the doctor because he couldn't do a certain mathematical problem that he did for his job anymore. His brain wasn't working right, and he realized that, and they told him he had brain cancer. He had a year to live. Right? Well, I guess his soul decided he finished his course. I don't know. I'm thinking if I learn to play the guitar, I might have another. I might be able to get another gig. See, that's the way I look at it. I'm thinking, okay, if I learn to play the guitar, that'll save me, because I'm bringing forth that which is within. It'll save me. A little bit longer. Anyway, what the hell? Look, if I am a soul, that I just came into a body, and I'm doing this thing here down here, for my own expansion, and for my own realization, for my own understanding. Because he said, we keep our soul, the same. It's more real out there than it is here. That's what he said. And even C.S. Lewis said, it's his, the kids, I forget what their names were, but kids that, he was taking care of, or can't remember where them kids came from. I think they were adopted kids for him. Maybe they were his wife's kids. I don't really remember, but I remember him telling them that when the kid's mom died, two kids and their mom died, and C.S. Lewis was in love with her, and she died, and the kids were asking him something about the reality of heaven, and do you believe in heaven? I think, do you believe in heaven and God? Is my mom really going to be in heaven or what? And I think one of the kids said, I don't believe in heaven, or something like that, or I don't believe in God, or something like that. One of the kids said that. But C.S. Lewis told him that these are just shadowlands. Real life hasn't begun yet. And I just think, man, nothing could be more true. That's what my heart tells me. But my intellect, tells me, look, man, you don't know. You're on a bucking bronco, man. And you're probably gonna get popped off here in a little bit. Horse. Like if you're on a horse and you're trying to make her quit bucking and actually, be a calm horse that you can work with and stuff. First you gotta, they call it break 'em. I don't know if break 'em is actually a good word. That's what they call it. They make friends with them, get them to trust you. But before they get them to trust you, or whatever, break them. But I don't know. I don't believe it's breaking a horse's spirit, because I don't think you can break a horse's spirit. Not like that. I think a horse is smarter than that. But anyway, got talking about a horse, and I don't even know where I was now. Look, thing is, about dying though. Like, I've known for a long time, I mean, look, look, I'm facing death. I mean, look, whether it's like 1 year, 5 years, 20 years, I mean, I ain't got my whole life ahead of me no more. So, I just, I guess I just want to make note right now, I feel that I know, that, well, basically what I said, But, I mean, I don't know how things work. But if they do work, like in the Gospel of Thomas, well, I'm going to try to learn to play my guitar and stuff, find new expression in life, try to, I don't know, you never know what could happen. I mean, like I might be able to, put some songs together or something. Might be able to, it might make a difference, because, most of the time when I look at myself, like if I look at my recordings and stuff like that, I say, man, Jesus Christ, man, you're fucking pathetic. Look, I have a high standard, but I also have like I don't know what you call it. I don't know. Like I accept myself. I mean, whatever. I don't take it all too seriously. I don't take life too seriously. I suppose, I don't know what I was going to say. I was thinking about the, the blood system. They put an IV in me today. See, your blood system is what you call if you study the nature of the biology, a better word, biology of the body. Your veins and your blood, that's a closed system. See? Your blood, absorbs stuff, through the, the walls of the stomach and the intestines, I guess, and then it gets filtered, through the liver and the kidneys and stuff like that, the bladder, and we take energy from the stuff that we eat into our blood and stuff, but it's still a closed system. See, all right, so there was a time in my life, I used to violate that closed system, see, and so, I guess because I did it so I could do something else. So, I had violated that system so that I could do something else. So I used something to make me stay up longer. I get more work done. Or sometimes for fun. But as time goes on, if you use any kind of stimulant, then they're a lot stronger than now than they used to be. And sometimes if you're not doing your stuff legally, then you'll die because somebody will put something in there to kill you. I mean, you won't even know it because you're putting something into a system that's meant to be closed. Even what I was thinking about today is my dog's hair. One thing I've learned is that it's really better not to wash your dog. because your dog don't need to be washed. Because the thing is about dogs, you know, they say, well, you smell like a dog or something. Well, I don't know. Maybe that dog been out in the rain a lot or something. But dog's hair is meant to cover their body and protect their body, and their hair will protect stuff from outside. Like their hair will take dirt, you know, and it'll go into their hair, and it actually serves a purpose, and it becomes like a bug barrier for them. And it protects them, the whole environment, you know. Dogs are part of Earth too, and they're closer to Earth than we are. And I mean, there's sensitivities in their hair. Anyway, you know, some systems are just meant to operate a certain way without, you know, they're a closed system kind of, you know, without like outside input, unnatural input, you know. When you violate that, you disturb the ecosystem of, you know, and there's all kinds of systems at work, ecosystems, and you know, in actual ecology, and then you know, like between dogs and nature, between us and nature, and but the point of what I was saying is, see, we understand that, but you can violate that. And if you do violate that, there's two ways to look at it. You know, one way is it don't matter anyway, because your soul is in charge. You know, and this body is only temporary. This whole universe is only temporary, but you know, we're gonna live on. That's one way to look at it. And the other way to look at it is, you know, this is the only time you got to go around, man. You better do it right the first time. Don't mess up. You know? Look, I think both of them are true. Yeah. And the reason I think both of them are true is because I think we are born in this life to know the whole point of living is that we die. You know, so live accordingly. And then the other side is, well, this is like a training ground, you know. This is an arena that we're gonna. Well, Darius Wright says that you don't forget anything, and I kind of know that no matter what. I mean, I know that, you know, like whatever God is, source, you know, or whatever it is out there that we're a part of. God knows every feeling, knows every thought, because they're God's. They're within God. God knows. God knows. God's attached right down to the core to every living being. God's attached right down to the core. You know, you can't like, you know, it's a big mistake if you try to say, well, you know, no, God don't feel that. Oh no, God feels that. Yep. So, all right, you know. You understand that. You just understand. You know, I might just call the thing, you know, right here. This one right here that I'm making, you know, God feels that. Okay? Because everything I've said today, the most important thing to understand is that God feels that, and God knows that. All right, bye.